Hey everyone and welcome. Today, we are going to try and make sense of the wild and, let's be honest, kind of confusing world of AI models. All right, let's jump in and find our way through this AI maze together. So have you ever felt your head spin hearing all these different names? GPT-4o, Gemini, Claude, what? If you have, you are definitely not the only one. It really can feel like you're lost in a maze. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to have a really clear map to navigate it all. Okay, first things first, let's meet the three big players in the game right now. A good way to think about them is like three different experts you could hire, each one with their own unique personality and a very special set of skills. Let's kick things off with OpenAI's GPT-4o. Now, the best way to picture this one is as a super versatile multitasker. You know, the one with a huge toolkit, ready to tackle pretty much any task you can think of. It's really the jack of all trades. So what makes GPT-4o so special? Well, it's this killer combination of strengths. I mean, it's not just fast, it's blazing fast. And it's surprisingly affordable. But the real magic, it's that real-time conversational power. It can see what you're seeing, hear what you're saying, and talk back like a person. Mixing text, audio, and images like it's nothing. It's a true multimodal powerhouse.
So, what does that mean for you? Well, if you need a quick answer to a question, some help writing an email, or even a real-time translator in your pocket, GPT-4o is going to be your go-to. It's basically the ultimate sidekick for all those everyday creative and practical problems.
Okay, on to our next expert, Google's Gemini. I want you to picture Gemini as this brilliant researcher, but one with a ridiculously huge memory. We're talking someone who can read and perfectly recall entire libraries of information in a blink.
Gemini's superpower is something called its context window. Just think of that as its working memory. And Gemini's is absolutely massive. This means it can digest an entire book or analyze a long video and remember every single little detail from start to finish. You combine that with how deeply it's plugged into Google's universe of products, and you have an incredible analysis machine.
And this is really where Gemini just shines. Do you need to find that one specific sentence buried in a 500-page report? Or maybe you need to summarize a 2-hour lecture? That is the job for Gemini. It's just perfect for that kind of deep, complex research.
And that brings us to our third major player, Claude from Anthropic. The best way to think about Claude is as the careful, really thoughtful editor. This is the AI that puts quality, clarity, and most importantly, safety above everything else.
Yeah, Claude is built from the ground up with this safety-first mindset. It's got fantastic reasoning skills, meaning it's great at thinking through complicated problems step by step. And what you get as a result is an answer that isn't just reliable, but also super clear and really well structured. So if you're drafting a professional report where you need to have a really nuanced conversation, or you're doing any task where you just cannot afford a mistake, Claude is your top choice. It's the one you turn to for high-stakes writing and reasoning.
Okay, so we've met the big three, but what if you're the type who likes to tinker, get under the hood and build something yourself? Well, that brings us to the really exciting world of open source models.
We're talking about models like Llama, Mistral, DeepSeek, and DBRX. The perfect analogy for these is a DIY toolkit. They give you all the professional-grade parts, and then you have the freedom to build a tool that's perfectly designed for exactly what you need to do.
The real beauty of open source is one word: control. You can take one of these models and fine-tune it for a super specific purpose, and they're constantly getting better because a whole community of smart people is working on them. And here's a big one: you can run them on your own computer, which is a massive win for privacy.
So this makes them perfect for developers who are creating new apps, or businesses that need a really specialized AI solution. And of course, for anyone who needs to be 100% sure their data stays private. It's all about freedom and customization.
All right, we've got the multitasker, the researcher, the editor, and the DIY toolkit. So, how do they actually stack up when you put them next to each other? Let's pull it all together. And right away, you can see a key trade-off, right? On one side, you've got the incredible real-time speed and do-anything versatility of GPT-4o. On the other, you've got the deep, powerful analysis of Gemini for huge amounts of information. See, it's almost never about which one is better, but which one is better for your specific task. And here it is. This is our AI model cheat sheet. This is the map we've been looking for. So you've got GPT-4o, the multitasker, your perfect everyday assistant. Then there's Gemini, the researcher, which is the king of deep data analysis. Claude, the careful editor, is for professional writing when you need it to be rock solid. And finally, the open source toolkit for anyone who needs to build something custom-made. Each one has its place.
Okay, now that you have the cheat sheet, how do you actually pick one and get started? Let's walk through a super simple way to find the right tool for your task.
It really just comes down to 3 simple steps. First, figure out your goal. What are you actually trying to do? Write something, research something, build something? Step 2, just look at our cheat sheet and pick the model that matches your goal. And step 3, and this is the most important one, just start playing around with it. The absolute best way to learn is by doing.
Just one really quick but important heads up. This whole field is moving at lightning speed. So this information is a snapshot of how things look in 2025, but you can bet that new versions and new tricks are always right around the corner. So just stay curious.
So, after all that, what's the big idea? The main thing to take away? It's actually pretty simple. You're going to hear a lot of debate about which AI is the best or the most powerful, but that kind of misses the point. The best AI is the one that helps you get things done. It's not about raw power. It's about what empowers you.
And so I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you've got the map out of the maze, which path are you going to take first? Which model are you excited to try out? And what's the very first thing you're going to ask it to do?